What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the Route Runners podcast. I'm your host, Jared.
I'm Srikar.
I'm James.
And today we got a very special guest with us. We've had a lot of guests in the past, but they've basically just been our friends. Now we really have our first real guest, Ishaan Jagiasi from the Penn State Basketball team. What's going on, man?
What's up? What's up?
So we just wanted, introduce yourself to our viewers and so that they can know what you're all about. Where are you from? All that kind of stuff.
My name is Ishaan Jagiasi. I'm a junior here at Penn State. I'm from Wilmington, Delaware originally, and I went to Huntington Prep for high school.
Awesome. All right, so each of us got a series of questions for you guys that we'll ask just to get more knowledge on the Penn State basketball team, college basketball in general. Originally, we actually started out as a football podcast. We just talk about NFL football all the time, but since it's kind of the dry season, we're going to start talking about more sports. We have two college basketball shows that we've done already that have been awesome, and everyone seems to really enjoy those, us included. So we wanted to kind of branch out a little more and get some more knowledge on that.
Mm-hmm.
So my first question is, again, we did start out as a football podcast, and we obviously go to Penn State, which is a huge football school. Everyone kind of, comes for the football games. There's 107,000 fans that come for some of the games, the big games of the year. And the basketball team over the last couple of years, hasn't been anything crazy. You haven't really made, I believe 2011 was the last year that Penn State's made March Madness. So it's been a while. So you transferred here. We want to know, what were the main components that made you want to come to State College and play for the Penn State Nittany Lions?
I would say definitely the new coaching staff, Coach Shrewsbury, and especially on the assistant side, Coach Collins. They both just got here first year here. And then I played high school in Huntington, West Virginia, and they coached at Marshall University, which is also in Huntington. So there's a relationship between my high school coaching staff and here. So I felt pretty comfortable. My high school coaching staff, they had high praise for both the coaches here. So it was a pretty easy decision for me.
That's cool. You played with a couple players that actually went to the NBA too, right?
Yeah, I played with Josh Primo and JT Thor while I was at Huntington. Primo is on the Spurs right now. He got picked 12th overall, and then JT Thor is on the Hornets, I believe, and he got picked 38th.
That's crazy. That's great.
Yeah,
that's actually
crazy.
Awesome.
Yeah. All right. So I'll ask my first question. So I just want to know, how is the transition from high school to college basketball? And for high schoolers who want to play on the collegiate level, do you have any advice for them on the transition?
Yeah. So high school to college, in high school, you can do basically everyone, especially at the Division I level, could do everything well at the high school level. When you're making that transition, you start to see what your weaknesses are. And also you're playing against people that are much bigger. So strengths that you thought that you had, you probably are not going to have. I would say you have to, if you want to make that transition, you have to get your body right in the weight room, but you also have to be mentally prepared, because it's really easy to be that guy when you're that guy, but can you still keep that, mentality when, you have to start over from scratch and you're playing people that are actually at your level.
Right. All right.
That's what I would say for that.
Gotcha. Yeah, and on top of that, I just want to ask, as one of the only Indian American D1 basketball players that I know, at least, how does that how has it been? Do you feel love a lot? From back home, I'm sure Indian people, your parents like to flex to other people, hey, my son is on the Penn State basketball team. Do you feel that just with random people too? Do you ever feel that love?
Yeah. I mean, I definitely feel the love, especially from the Indian community. They've been really supportive. My mom she's pretty deep with the Indian communities in New Jersey, New York, Pennsylvania, and Delaware. So they've been really supportive. Indian people on campus have also been really supportive. So that's cool. Been cool.
That's cool.
That's awesome. So you talked about Shrewsbury a lot. That was one of the main reasons as to why you came here. Us three and a bunch of our other friends, we go to a lot of the basketball games. Srikar goes to all of them. Me, James, and a couple of our other friends, we go to most of them. we see him
you know,
yelling
I
all
gotta stay loyal like that. I show up. I show up.
Yeah. We see him yelling, losing his fucking voice all the time. He is he's crazy loud, and he's crazy about his team, it seems. What happened? Like, can you like recall any story that happened maybe in practice or in a game, but mostly like in practice where things are behind closed doors that he just absolutely went ballistic on anyone?
I would say I remember, especially in the Big Ten tournament when we played Ohio State. At halftime, we were down.
Yeah.
And I remember he came in, he basically was like, our season's not ending like this. You know, we have way too many seniors. We're not playing hard enough. You know, we're not losing to Ohio State. That's what he said. He's like, we're not losing. We're not going to lose this game. And then definitely we came out with that firepower in the second half. But we've definitely had a lot of situations where we would have like slower starts and stuff like that. And he would have to do that to, you know, get us to lock in and play harder.
Yeah. If
How,
only
how was the
how
was the Indy trip, by the way? Do you have a good time?
Yeah. I mean, Indy was great. I wish, you know, we could have went further, but definitely, you know, the win against Ohio State, the win against Minnesota, those were good wins. You know, couldn't quite get the job done against Purdue, but it was definitely a good trip.
Yeah. Ohio State was a huge win.
Yeah, if only our football team can have that kind of mentality coming out of the second half.
They'll be
nice.
They'll be just fine next year. They'll be just fine.
Hopefully.
Let's hope.
Yeah. So I have another question that kind of overlaps with Jared. It's also about Coach Shrewsbury.
Mm-hmm.
Has he ever given you any advice that like will stick with you for the rest of your career, or like just any like life-changing advice?
I would say for him, like from his perspective, he always says gritty, not pretty. Like if you know, if someone's not going to give you something, or you know, if things aren't going well, you still have to. You can't only be a front runner. Like you can't only act tough when you're up. You got to also be able to do that when you're down, so that you could claw your way back, not just like in games, but in life too. So I would definitely say he's like, just get the job done, like regardless of like what your position is right now.
Gotcha.
He sounds like a very good life coach.
Yeah, for sure.
I saw him driving around. Did Penn State Basketball have like an event today? He was just driving around campus in the golf cart with some of the other coaches.
No, I think we had a recruit here. Visit,
Okay.
Something like that.
Gotcha. Yeah. So like jumping on that, how has the team culture been this year? You know, like has it been a lot of tough love, or you know, like because I've talked to Sam a couple times, John too. Like they're all pretty chill and they're easy to talk to. Do you guys all hang out with each other a lot, or is it more just like team
I mean,
over? You know.
Yeah, it was really easy because I remember like when I first got here, I already knew Sam pretty well, like before I got here. But then when I got here, like everybody was like welcoming, like we all hung out like the first day and stuff. Like there was like no, like usually like I've been on teams where like you have 3 or 4 guys that hang out, and then you have like 3 to 4 other guys that hang out like separately.
Right. Yeah.
But like on this team, I felt like whenever we would do something, like we would do it like all together. Like there weren't that many like loners or like just like individual groups. So yeah, team chemistry was really good this year.
Yeah, and I actually like I look like you guys were pretty close too. Like it wasn't like there was always someone sitting on the bench far away during like a team huddle or anything like that. Like you guys seem pretty close.
Yeah.
So you mentioned that you guys beat Ohio State in the Big Ten tournament, played really well against Purdue. I thought that, you know, maybe they were going to pull it out. It was a tough one, but Purdue's still in the NCAA tournament right now in the Sweet 16. I believe they're playing tomorrow, but the Big Ten this year was ridiculous. One of the toughest, probably the toughest conference in all of college basketball. So like you have teams like Purdue, Ohio State, Michigan who made the tournament, Wisconsin, Illinois. Who were like what were like the toughest teams and players that like you guys and Shrews especially had to like prepare for, and what did you guys do to prepare for them?
I would say the toughest teams, you know, obviously, you know, Purdue got us both times that we played them. Ohio State, they beat us twice in the regular season. They were a tough team. I would say for for Purdue, obviously they just have a ton of weapons. That's why they're still in it. They have a 7'3", 7'4" center. They have Jaden Ivey, obviously. They have they have shooters. Like it's pretty much everything there. I think Purdue was definitely a tough matchup. Iowa, obviously they got the twins over there.
Yeah.
Illinois had Kofi. So I mean, there's definitely a lot of good players. We just had to game plan by taking it on a game to game basis, just like evaluating like what we thought with our personnel would give us the best percentage chance to win. And I definitely think with all the good big men in the league this year, I think John was a huge part of our success. Just being able to produce offensively and then also help contain we had all American bigs. Like there were just so many bigs that I saw this year that were really good.
Yeah, I mean some of my favorite games were at the BJC when you guys showed up against Rutgers and Michigan State. Those were some of the best because Rutgers, I think they were going around away games. They were like beating all the good teams, and then they come here and then you guys 20-piece them. So that was a pretty good game.
Yeah, that was a good one. We won. I remember we won. I think we won by double digits versus Rutgers at home, and then we lost. We lost by like 1 when we went to Rutgers. So that ended up being pretty cool because like they ended up. I think there was a 4 seed going into the Big Ten tournament, so they had like the 2-day bye, and we had to play on the first day. So it really showed you like there wasn't that big of a difference between like any 2 teams in the Big Ten.
Right.
Yeah.
So speaking of the BJC again, it's a huge upgrade from where you played at high school, I'm assuming, because BJC is huge. How is like the energy there? Like, because as a fan, it's pretty electric when there's like a clutch play or like a clutch 3 made. But like from like a player's standpoint like yours, like how does that energy feel? Like just the environment of the BJC itself.
Yeah. I mean, obviously when I didn't know how crazy it was going to be until Ohio State got here. I mean, unfortunately we couldn't win, but I remember with all the chants for when Jamari came back, I was like, the energy's kind of crazy in here. I mean, it definitely helps. I mean, you saw the difference between our success at home and on the road. Like just like record wise, I believe we entered like 1-10 on the road, and I don't remember what our home record was, but it was way better than that. So
I mean, there was some close games in the way too. Like a lot of those came down to the last minute and stuff.
Yeah, we had a lot of close games, but definitely having your fans in the crowd. I think 1-10 compared to what we were. I don't know what we were at home. I don't remember, but yeah, it just shows you like when you have like the fans at home, like the energies in your favor, like how many more games you could win. Because we had a ton of games on the road that we lost by like 1 possession.
Right.
Yeah.
For our listeners out there, for those who don't know who Jamari Wheeler is, former Penn State point guard, and was one of the best players on the basketball team for the last couple of years, and for the 2021 season transferred to Ohio State. So for our listeners out there who don't go to Penn State or just don't really know about like college rivalries in general, you don't do that. You don't transfer from these huge rivals. Like that would be like if someone went to Auburn and you would go to Alabama, or go from Ohio State to Michigan or something like that. You don't do that. So like I'm sure the vibe around the team when that happened was like pretty mellow, and like when every time that Ohio State was on our schedule, like you guys were pretty pumped up.
Yeah, I mean, for sure. I mean, from our perspective, like for students and like people that like spectate like the game and stuff like that, it's kind of different because from their perspective, it's Penn State versus Ohio State, like, and it's like a rivalry. From our perspective, it's just like Jamari, he had to do what was best for him in his career, so there wasn't like no animosity. It's just like a competitive way to get the game going. It helps the atmosphere, but like it's no bad blood. You got to do what's best for your career, and if Ohio State was best for his career, then that's what that's just what he had to do.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if you saw this, but for the Ohio State game, we had a lot of us, we were going to paint Trader. We actually painted Trader across our chests. Well, Athletics shut it down right before the game. I don't know if you noticed that.
I remember seeing it. I just don't remember if it got shut down or not.
Gotcha. Yeah, that happened. So
that game and the Northwestern game were like, even though when we lost against Ohio State, that and the Northwestern game, because I believe it was the second to last home game of the year. and Nebraska was
Yeah.
last.
Mhm.
Yeah, the Northwestern game, it was just so fun because it ended up being a win, obviously, and it was very fun being around them.
Yeah,
It's
for
crazy.
sure.
It's crazy seeing like how many like NBA players like sons and stuff like make it all the way to the collegiate level. Like obviously their like dads are like in the NBA, but like you'll see like popping up here like Caleb Houston in Michigan, and then like
Mhm.
Larry Nance's brothers on Northwestern and stuff. Like it's just crazy because you'll just see the name, and you'll be like, is that his brother? Is that they related and
There's
stuff? Like
Scottie Pippen Jr. There's just so
yeah,
many of them. There's so many of them.
right. Yeah, so obviously, you know, I gotta ask about the TikTok here. So
Mhm.
you, as of right now, you have 305,000 followers and 2.7 million likes. I mean, that's major respect off the bat.
Appreciate it. Appreciate
And
it.
so, but one thing I want to ask is like, how did you get started? Like, were you just like, okay, let me just like throw in a couple TikToks here and there, and then you just like blew up, or like, did you know someone behind the scenes at TikTok, and like, did you get famous that way?
I was like bored last year in college because most of my classes were remote, and
Mhm.
I really didn't have to go to like any class, and I was getting my work done, so I just had a bunch of free time, like a bunch of free time. And I remember like October, like November last year, like I just downloaded the app like just to like start watching because I remember like being on Facebook, and then people said, oh like what's this like Instagram thing, and then like just going, and I thought it was an app just for dancing, and I don't dance, so
Yeah, it
I
started
don't
like
dance.
that. It started like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, I don't dance. So I'm scrolling through, but I'm seeing like majority of the videos, aren't dancing, and like it helps build a platform, and like where we are right now, that's like the best form of currency is to have, a
Mhm.
following online. If you wanted to go into like real estate, if you wanted to go into sports media, like having a large following helps with regardless of like what you're trying to do. So I posted like, I think my second video ended up getting like, what is it, 57,000 views. And after that, I was like, well, I don't really know what I'm doing. So if I'm getting if I'm getting 57,000 views, not knowing what I'm doing, might as well, keep trying it.
Yeah.
You're doing something right.
Hey,
Yeah.
there are a couple of people on at Penn State that are like TikTok famous too. Like, have you heard of Katie Feeney? She's
Yeah.
pretty big up there too. So
Yeah, for sure.
so on
yeah,
top of that,
I got
Yeah,
one
you
more
go,
question. Yeah, I got one more question. So I mentioned like how that Aaron James was talking about how that atmosphere in like the Bryce Jordan Center was pretty loud for most of the games. And I wanted to it's a question / shout out to Legion of Blue. Srikar's a part of it. And I don't know, I felt like every time that I went to a home game, especially in conference games in the Big Ten, it was really loud. Like the Rutgers game, I remember everyone was chirping Paul McCulley, I believe his name is.
Yeah,
McKay,
the New Jersey the New Jersey kid,
Yeah. So like, how much of an impact do you think that like that had on some of the games? Because Rutgers again was you said the 4 seed in the Big Ten tournament. They were a good team this year. They made the first 4 for March Madness. Like I just, it was awesome to see us beat that team. And I like, how much does the crowd really come into effect in our great Legion of Blue atmosphere that we have?
Yeah, it's major because if you look at like the turnarounds on like the teams that we played twice, like the difference from home and away, like Rutgers lose by 1 at Rutgers. We our spot we win by double digits. Michigan State we lost by double digits at their place, and then at our spot, like the Michigan State game was that was crazy. The crowd was like insanely loud. Like, the crowd played a big part of like why we were able like to take the game over in like the last 2 minutes, especially like with John. Like I remember John missed the layup and then he got it back, and then he got an and one with like a minute or something like that left, and then the crowd went crazy for that one for sure. I remember that one.
Now I just want to hop back to the TikTok thing real quick. So you see guys like Adrian Nunez and Jimmy Soto's, they get shit on really hard since they have a big TikTok presence. I don't see you getting that much hate considering you're also on TikTok and you're on the team.
Yeah, I mean
like that's what like half of the chants are like they're just like Jimmy Soto's TikTok boy and stuff. Like
yeah, you should have heard what they were saying when I went to Ohio State.
Fair point.
Yeah, it's fair. It's fair, I guess. Whatever they want to do.
Yeah, I got a little bad blood with Adrian Nunez because he laughed at me because I lost fantasy football in our league and I had to wear like a tank top, like a bra and like skirt and all that thing.
I
And he was the
remember that,
first person to look at me, and he started laughing at me. And I had to try to talk to him, and he kept turning his back and stuff. So I was like, all right, that's how it's gonna be.
I think Jimmy and Adrian are both graduating, so I think I'm gonna be the only one getting made fun of next year in the Big Ten.
Nah. Hey, we'll set up some posters.
Bet.
I don't know. Okay, so I actually brought. I was actually one of the people that actually went to Indy, and so I actually brought a poster like that on the Purdue game. We made all those posters. I don't know if you saw any. I actually made one, and some of the guys on Legion Blue said you were a Pokemon master.
Yes.
So if I can find the photo correctly here.
Yes, this is Googleable.
Yep.
That's awesome.
I had a little I said, who's that Pokemon? And on the other side it said Ishaan Jagiasi, just a kid from Delaware.
That's tough. I didn't even see that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's tough, bro. Appreciate it. I didn't see that.
Yeah. So now I think we're gonna get into our quick round here. We'll just throw off some quick questions for you, and you just gotta answer them quickly. So first one is favorite NFL team.
Eagles.
Okay, we got another Eagles fan. Okay. Favorite NBA team.
Sixers.
Okay. How do you feel about the Sixers right now? You a big Harden fan or?
Not really. I don't have much.
Really?
I want to talk. I want to talk about. I have no faith. We're not.
Hey, you guys clapped the Heat. You guys beat the Heat.
I'm not worried about neither of them. I'm worried about Milwaukee. I'm worried about Milwaukee and what Giannis is going to do to us.
They're always contenders.
We're not beating Milwaukee. We're not beating.
You don't think so?
You never know. You never know.
We're gonna lose in like 5 or 6 games. It's not even gonna be close. I'm already knowing.
They got some solid depth though. They got Paul Millsap, Isaiah Joe, Paul Reed.
Isaiah Joe.
Embiid's gonna average like 40 and 15 that series.
Oh, yeah.
They're still gonna lose in 5 games.
All right, so who's your favorite NBA player after that?
Favorite NBA? Can I do one of my friends?
Sure.
Josh Primo on the Spurs.
Is he gonna turn up next season? You think?
He's like 18 years old.
Yeah, I heard about that.
Like he has so much time. Like I remember like with when Kobe got him to the league, like people were judging him, but he came in at like 17. Like you gotta think about it, like by the time Primo's 22, he would be 5 years in the league. Like he's gonna be so tough. He's gonna be so like you see what like you know how long Anthony like Simmons been around like the G League and like pro like Anthony you're seeing the results of like his work for like the last 5 years. So like by the time Primo like 22 or 23, that's gonna be a serious problem.
So
what about someone that you like someone that maybe wouldn't be your friend that's actually in the league that like maybe you modeled your kind of game after, you kind of influenced you to become a basketball player?
Yeah, I mean you would have to say Steph.
Okay.
Like outside of my friends.
Good option.
Yeah, outside of my friends, have to say Steph.
Now, how do we feel about Trae Young and the Hawks? Real quick, I just want to ask just.
Trae Young. Trae Young tough. It's just like I don't even know what to say about the Hawks. It's just like there's so many good teams in the East right now that you can't even like really like start thinking about the Hawks. Like you got Brooklyn. I think Brooklyn's like the 8th seed right now.
Yeah. See,
got,
Jared, finally someone not hating on me because I root for the Hawks and Trae Young.
Sorry. I'm not gonna stop.
This is what I have to deal with every day. Just Trae Young's a bitch. Trae Young's a bitch.
They're solid. Trae Young's good, but they're gonna need more pieces, to make him stay there in the long term.
Yeah, no, definitely. So after that, favorite weekend place for food. This is a controversial one. I'm sure you.
You said weekend place for food?
Yeah, like what do you get? Okay, that's not bad.
That's close by to us, so that's also a favorite right here.
Yeah, literally a 2-minute walk. I go every day.
Yeah, I think I've seen Owe go like walk from there a little bit.
Yeah,
so
I've
seen him. And then favorite basketball movie.
let's gotta go original Space Jam. Original
Okay.
Space Jam.
I like
For
that.
sure.
That's not bad. How do you feel about the new one?
I actually didn't watch it yet.
I didn't either.
It's
I
not
don't really-
great.
Actually,
I'll-
the reason I didn't want to go watch it is because I just knew I would be like disappointed. Like you can't beat, you just can't beat the original.
It's
Yeah.
not great. Just to spoil it, it's not
Like
great.
yeah, they should have gave LeBron his own series. They need to like
Yeah.
stop like making him do everything Jordan did. Like he needed to do his own. They need to give him his own thing.
Yeah. If you want to clown on the movie, you should watch it. That's the reason why you should watch
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, I knew it was gonna be. I knew it was gonna be like that, especially because like in your mind, like the first one is so good that on the second one, like if they do exactly the same thing, people aren't gonna like it. They already seen it before, and then if you try to change some stuff up, it's still too close together.
Gotcha. Yeah, no, totally. So funniest teammate. Who's the
For me-
funniest teammate?
For
Yeah.
me, Sam.
Sam?
For me, yeah, Sam made me laugh like every day.
That's-
It's because the way like I grew up 30 minutes away from Philly, and people in Delaware and Pennsylvania, we got like the same like language and stuff. So like when you see people from like different areas, like we're very like direct with our jokes. So it's been a long time since I've had a teammate from Philly. So it's really refreshing. Last time I had a teammate from that area was in high school with AJ Hogarth that starts at Michigan State.
Oh, no way.
Yeah, so I love playing with people from Pennsylvania. They make me laugh.
Yeah, he was hilarious. I remember after the Purdue game, after like everyone came back to the hotel, he came down. He was eating some wings or something, and like some of us were just talking to him, and we were like, and like we were about to start heading out. So I was like, "Hey man, at least you guys beat Ohio State here in Indy." Yeah, and Jamari, and he was like, "F Jamari," and then I love that from him. And then team you absolutely hated. There are multiple answers for this. There's multiple correct answers.
And any sport or just college basketball.
For basketball, for college basketball, Penn State basketball. Like there's like bad blood. Like you low key wanted to pull your hand out at the good game at the end of the game. You were like Kyle, just like, I hate these guys.
Nah, I didn't have that. Not here. Like everyone's.
Really?
I didn't have a game where I was like, oh, I don't want to shake their hand. I've had games where I was like angry about the result, but I didn't have like we didn't have no game where like I felt like another team like tried to like disrespect us in any way. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes like you have games where you know you're down and the other team like they'll dunk like at the end of the shot clock and then that'll make you not want to shake people's hands. But like over the result of the game, like nah, I don't think we had a game like that.
Okay. All right, Michigan, just in case.
Michigan? Why?
Yeah.
Why?
I don't know. I just Eli Brooks. That guy just gets under my nerves so much. That Eli Brooks, Hunter Dickinson, Caleb Houston, like all of those guys.
Yeah, great. They got a great roster, man. Great
Yeah.
roster.
Yeah.
So that's all I got for you. Thank you so much for coming on. This was awesome.
Yeah, thanks, man.
I really enjoyed it. You got anything you want to plug for our fans?
Nah, man, just stay tuned to Penn State basketball for next year. You know, let's fill up the BJC again. Let's get that energy again. You know, we're trying to win more games. We're trying to get to that tournament.
Damn right. Well, good luck next season. We're definitely going to be supporting you guys going to pretty much every game. And it was awesome last year. We're hoping for even better 2022. Thanks,
Appreciate
Ishaan.
it.
Now I want to ask you real quick. You got any links for any Penn State football players? Are you friends with anyone else on any of the Penn State sports teams or?
Yeah, a couple on the football team. I think we're gonna be fine. I think we're gonna be fine next year.
Okay, I was gonna say if you want to slide me the account, I'll hit them up for the next special guest on the podcast.
Bet.
Yeah, thanks, man, for coming on again. Once again.
No problem.
Yeah, thank you for everything.
No problem. Appreciate y'all for having me.
Yep,
Peace.
no problem. Thanks.
All right.